we're somewhere. Who knows where?
We're somewhere. I don't know where we are.
I was like, oh, awesome. It's working. And I shared it.
Not.
And I was like, that was 18 hours ago. And
yeah,
like,
that's exactly what I'm seeing here. At first, I thought we were sharing into the group, and it's something. It says just now, but it says from 18 hours ago. So anybody who's wondering what we're talking about is we've been trying for weeks to figure out how to stream into the ClickFunnels group. And Madison thought she had it figured out. And so have a whole bunch of other people, and still we can't do it. So next week, what we might do is the manual method, and just Madison will run StreamYard, and I'll go into the ClickFunnels group and just say go live and share my screen into it, and we'll see what happens, because that was the whole idea. We're supposed to do it, but even the people at ClickFunnels, Rob and who else am I thinking of? Dante and whoever, when they're streaming now, they stream into their page and then they share it into the group, because there's no way using the streaming systems, StreamYard, Restream, everybody's tried everything, and we cannot get it to stream.
Except for yesterday, for some reason, I was able to stream into it when I didn't even have the stream key set up properly. So,
well, Mark Douglas did say that he's tried it, and is basically it's a 50-50 shot of whether it streams or not. So again, that's not very good odds. So next week we'll just do it manually and see if it works that way. The only problem with doing it manually is you're going to be seeing the entirety of my screen the whole time. And
I have to figure out how to do it a different way than what Dan moving.
Madison's going to figure out how to do it a different way. Okay. Yes. All right. So Madison, where did we leave off last week? I don't remember. You were talking about a whole bunch of workflow stuff, and there wasn't even any time left for me to speak. It was just so devastating for me. So,
I know. So I've been silenced for this. No.
She's in the corner with the dunce cap on this week, and of course she decided to come down with COVIDs or some sort of other horrible disease that's rotting her brain out or something. So so what I want to do is unless Madison really wants to go first, I will
go for
it. Jump in here. And what sparked this, actually, of course I lost the page that I wanted to show, but let me find it here real quick. And okay, here it is. Let me actually duplicate this. I was prepared, and then I did something else. Okay. Now I got to come back over here, and I am ready to share my screen. And what it is a question in the group prompted me to think of all kinds of people who have similar questions and other things I've seen this week regarding building funnels and that kind of stuff. So can you see the screen? Yep. There you go. Good. You can see the screen, and I can see you. So this works out. It says right here, does an order form have to be in the same funnel as an OTO? Or can you send it to a different funnel to go through the OTO? Well, the reason why Michael's asking this question is because apparently he doesn't know something that was built into 2.0 initially, long time ago, when it first came out even, is that pages are reusable and can be used anywhere. So you can create a singular OTO page, let's say, and you can put that into 15 different funnels if you want. And why you would want to do that versus sending it to another funnel is because, let's say, funnel A is domain A, funnel B is domain B. So you're crossing from one domain into another, which is a no-no. So you don't want to do that by staying in a singular funnel flow. You are sticking with a singular domain, but also from an analytics standpoint. And that's what most of the people put here into the comments is, well, you're not going to know what your analytics are because you're bouncing from one set of numbers to another set of numbers. Okay. So let's look at kind of setting this stuff up. And then there was a question about using the OTO button and what happens if somebody didn't come from an order form page, how that's going to work out. And I have not tested this yet, but I'm pretty sure I know how it's going to work. and then a couple other things. But I also want to show people, because I see the question in the group all the time is, oh, hey, where can we get funnels from? Where can we get examples of things from? You know, all this kind of stuff. And the thing is, it's built into ClickFunnels. So you got up here, you got your smart funnel builder, which I haven't clicked on this thing in a long time. I'm not sure what it does. You may or may not have the new AI stuff in your account, depending on if you're in the funnel builder certification program or a whole bunch of other things. You may or may not have that in there. If not, you'll be getting it soon. But the way to find a lot of this stuff is just come up here and click on create funnel. Create a funnel. And most people don't look on, see what's on this page here. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff besides hitting start from scratch. So let's just come down here. Let's say we want to build ourselves a cart funnel. So we're going to click on this. And what do you think you have right? You got this crazy guy here in the striped shirt telling you how to build a cart funnel. So you got all the education you need here, the strategy, the implementation. Here you have a wireframe right there. And then here you have some funnels. Now, as I looked at this wireframe before, I thought about the old cookbook here, and you're going to see all the pieces of paper I had stuck in here from back in the day and all my notes and all that kind of stuff. And so they built out all this stuff. Here's reverse squeeze page with the naked squirrels. I mean, most of you people who are new to ClickFunnels never saw this kind of stuff before. And they got all the wireframes in here and the whole thing. So this was a cool book of the day, but now this is basically right here inside of your account. You don't need the physical copy of it. So you can come here, you can click on one of these right here. These are pretty generic, what you get right here. Or you can go back to here. It says again, start from scratch. So we can click on this and we're just going to say, we'll just leave it called new funnel. And we'll go in here and let's see what it does. Here we go. Oh, it started. It took me all the way inside. Okay. So now here we are. This is the new UI in case some of you have not seen it yet. And again, in here, you set up what your URL, I'm sorry, which domain you want to use. Now in this account, I don't have any other domains set in here. At least I don't think I do now. I don't. So this is the only domain I have in here. But that's why, again, you would want to keep all of your funnel bits, all of the pages all in the same place here, because you're staying in the same domain. But then also you got your analytics up here at the top. You're going to keep all the tracking of all your analytics, all of your sales, all of your everything, all right here in this one spot. And how can you do that? By simply adding in the funnel pages. So I come over here, I can click on page. What are my choices? I can look at all the pages that are available. So these are all of my pages and all of the ClickFunnels pages. And we'll give it a second here to start up. And there are 21 pages of pages in here that you can load up. Well, so you can come back over here and you can say, all right, we'll click on my funnel pages. And so these are just ones that I happen to have in this account. There's 7 pages of pages, and I think there's probably 20 per page. So that's 140 pages I have in this test account. But then you go, okay, well, I want an opt-in page or a thank you page, or what we were talking about was this OTO upsell downsell page. So you have a whole bunch of them right here. So let's just pick one. This one here has got all kinds of crazy words on it that I don't know what they are. And you can put in, of course, your meta description, your meta name right here. That's what the name and description are. You can pick your style guide that you want on here. And I'm a strong advocate of using style guides, and maybe one of these trainings in the future will go through style guides, and then you can index in the search engines or not. Now, this is going to be the first page in our funnel, so we're probably going to want to have that indexed in the search engines, but we'll leave it turned off for now. And we're going to create this page. So now we've already looked at 2 different places that you can find inspiration, parts, pages, bits, whatever. But we can also come in here now to this page and we can, let me see, where are they hiding it in the new UI? Let's let it load up. Let's come here and yeah, here we go. My assets. We're going to click on my assets. And as it loads, again, we become so banner blind is what they called it 20 years ago, that we don't see half the stuff that's on the page anymore. All we see is, okay, we're going to click here and go to a blank section, or we're going to click here and put in flex. Well, look at all the stuff down here at the bottom. And in fact, there's a whole stack of different pieces that you can put into this funnel. And if I'm not mistaken, as these pages load up, they pick up the style guide that you currently have on this funnel. So let's check that. And let's see here. Let's go to our style guide, because I was looking at it one day and I was like, wow, those are all really cool. And their colors match so perfectly to what my funnel is. And I was like, they got to be using my style guide, because it was like black and gold. And I was like, there's no way it couldn't be. So let's go here. Let's see what this color palette is. All right. So we got a little splash of, we'll call that goldenrod, and a little bit of pink. So let's see. Yep, I'm definitely seeing that on some of these funnels here, but we can check it by, let's go back out. And because I'm so used to the old editor, I'm always like trying to look to click back out, but all you got to do is click these little icons up here at the top. It's just, we'll call it a game changer. So we'll come in here to our settings again. Now we're just the settings just for this funnel page right here. So we can change our style guide right there. Let me see if I have the one. Yeah, let's try the prime movers one here. Couldn't find sharing, share. Okay, well, don't worry about that. That's something else. That's your sharing image down there at the bottom, was having a little bit of a problem. So let's come in here. Now we're just set that style guide just for this page, not for the entirety of the funnel. So let's come in here. And again, we're going to come here. We're going to go to my assets, or you could just click to add in a new section or anything like that. And you see here now, the colors changed. So they actually, see, here's the black and the gold and all that. So everything that is here automatically picks up that style guide. Now, from a programmatic standpoint, frankly, I'm not even quite sure how they did that. That is actually pretty super cool that somebody figured out how to do that, because now I'm looking at this going, holy cow, I could take any one of these here and it would work perfect. They just slap it right in there and away you go. So you could come to a blank page, drop in your style guide, and just come from the top down and just start picking out bits and pieces and dropping it in there. Now, some of these, they're not picking up a lot of my colors. And part of the reason why, of course, is, am I showing something I shouldn't be showing, Madison?
Nope. I was going to sneeze. I hit the wrong button.
Okay. So, like I said, she's got the cooties this week. So, but like this one here, that's got a big, huge background image. So in that case there, okay, maybe I want to use this, but if I do, and let me see, what do we got to do to use it? I'm pretty sure you just grab it and drag it in. So just
you just have to click on it.
All right, let's try that too. I thought
it's like an element. Yep.
We'll find out. Let's see here. Well, no, I don't think so. Because if I click on this now, yeah, see, it's not going to go anywhere, because I have to see over here. Then you get the plus, little pluses, and I can move up.
Oh, I've always gone from like a section and clicked into those like they were elements.
Yeah. Okay. So we can do that too. So we're going to say here, add a section. Yep. And then we can come in here, and now we'll just click on that and it drops it in. So either way, you could do that. But so like this one here, it's got a big, huge background image on it. So I like the layout, pretty simple. It's exactly what I wanted. Now I don't have to build it myself, but I definitely don't like that background image. So I come in here, and if nothing else, I can turn off the background image. And now I can set the background to my style guide. So I want that as my style guide. And what did it do when I did that? Do you see how it changed? Oh my God. Oh, yes, I know, the fans go wild. It changed the color of the print right here in this sub headline element. So let's go back to what it was. Let's go back here and give it a white background. White background. And was that pouring rain?
Those were the fans going wild.
Oh, crinkling up a piece of paper or something.
They were applauding.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't blame them. So we got the lightest background, gave me black color here, because this is the way it's set inside of the style guide. So that's why I said maybe one day we'll talk about style guides, because I had not been using them until I was working on a project where I was cloning some stuff of Russell's, and there's so many pages. I knew from the beginning I had to use the style guide in order to build this out. And once you do it, you will not go back to not using a style guide again, especially anything that has more than one page, because it's the simplest way to, like, okay, so right here, one click, I just changed all the colors, all the everything, all here. And then let's say I don't like the way this looks. I can then go into the style guide if I wanted to and say, okay, well, I don't like that font. So that font is E.B. Garamond. I just come in here. Let's say I want to change it to Times New Roman. Click, click, Times New Roman. Boom, pop out of here. All the fonts changed. So that's the beauty of using a style guide. And I know that in Barnum PT now, you can do style guides in there and build them along with building the funnels. And maybe within a couple of weeks, we'll have a little more experience with Barnum PT. And then, like I said, there's some AI stuff coming inside of ClickFunnels itself. So there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, we could seriously do this show 5 hours a day for the rest of eternity and not run out of things to talk about, to be honest with you. But
well, that was like our AI show that we did on season 1 was too much to keep up with, that we'd record a video and things would change. And now with agents and skills and Manus and all of that, there's tons of stuff you can utilize that you can then directly put back into ClickFunnels.
Well, and I'm sure we all have the same kind of issues I have in the feed today, in my Facebook feed. Because every day there's, oh my God, you know, this AI is dead because this other thing came out with this other super duper AI. And then 2 days later, there's the next best thing. And then it just, I questioned it many times, is what is this all going to look like 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now?
Well, that's what, Elon says, that we're rapidly approaching AIG, which is that augmented intelligence. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's basically where it becomes what
they run
what
themselves.
Yeah, sorry, what?
They run themselves.
Yeah, well, sentient. But what's I'm drawing a blank on the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. What's
Terminator?
Well, yeah, but no, what's Skynet?
Oh,
I was thinking Skylink. No, Skynet. But yeah, I mean, seriously, when does it get to that point? They got the stuff now with that Claude thing, not Claude.
OpenClaw.
What do they call it? What?
OpenClaw.
OpenClaw, because they had to change the name because it was too close to actually Claude. So OpenClaw, and they let me kill that in case you guys can see it. The where now they're telling people, do not put this on your regular computer. You have to put this on your own server because it will take over absolutely everything. And there's a lot of people who found out the hard way that happened, including I saw a story about a woman who was like some high level AI executive at some company. She turned this thing on, and after about 15 minutes, she realized it was deleting everything off of her computer. It's deleting all of her emails, because she said, hey, go in there and sift and sort and do whatever. She did that, walked away, comes back, finds out it had just deleted like 500 important emails out of her system.
And here's your $500 bill for your credit usage. So, sorry, my dyslexic moment. It's AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, which is the machine that possesses the ability to understand or learn any intellectual task that a human being can.
Well, based upon some of the stuff I've been doing with AI lately, I'm certainly impressed. And here's the thing that I have really found myself doing is actually using AI to learn.
Yeah.
Because I'm having it teach me a bunch of really cool copywriting stuff that I should have learned 20 years ago if I'd actually read the books that I purchased and are sitting on my shelf. So I have the books, I just haven't read most of them. So now I'm having it act as a tutor, and it's teaching me this copywriting stuff. And I'm like going, okay, now I understand how all this stuff works. And I've been in Dan Kennedy's world for 25 years. And so whatever, that's not what we were talking about here.
Right, tangent.
Yes, way off on a tangent with the AI stuff. But here's here is the so to answer the question of where can you find stuff to build your funnels with, it's for the most part, it's already built in. And If that's not good enough, there's things like Funnel Drop Fridays, which anybody who's got a ClickFunnels account, just go into the ClickFunnels Customer Center and you can get all of the swipe files out of there, along with all of the share funnels to load that stuff into your own accounts. And depending on which programs you've been in over the years, FBC, Prime Mover, whatever, they all have all kinds of share funnels and stuff in there. And then here's something else that ClickFunnels created just recently, and I completely forgot about it until I saw somebody on the FBC call pull it up the other day. It's FunnelWorks Library. So it's
Frameworks
just
library.
Frameworks, whatever it's called. Yeah, Frameworks. So frameworkslibrary.com. You can go there, and they've got all kinds of stuff in here, all kinds of different frameworks. Click. It'll put the framework right into your account. Yeah. Now, what's all in here? I don't know. I haven't really gone through it that much, but it actually looks like, so I can do a high ticket. Let's just click on this one. Glow with the flow. So basically, it's a style of some sort, and then you can apply that to different, what says high ticket? Oh, I see. That's just a way of sorting it.
Filters, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Try for free. Not sure what you got to do to get this go into your account. Okay, claim this
framework.
Okay. All right. So that's it. So boom, you click on it. I mean, they don't give you much of a preview of what it's going to look like. But again, it's just one more place where you can find stuff to put into your funnels. So, so we got our progress bar OTO page. So let's go back to the question that Michael had is, can you put that OTO, can you run your order form on one funnel and have it go to an OTO in another one? And the answer to the question is you don't need to. And the reason why is this, we will confirm that, don't need to save it. And the reason why is this is what I've already showed you. So let's say that this was our order form right here. And we're going to come here, we're going to click on this, we're going to go to pages, we're going to go to my funnel pages, because you already assumed you already built this one. And that's the same one I was just in. Let's just assume that this is, there's an OTO on this page here. All I got to do is click on it and choose it, and it'll put it into this funnel flow, because it can be anywhere you want. As I think I already said, you could put this same OTO into 6 different funnels, and it tracks the analytics for the funnel at the funnel level, not at the page level.
We will put the caveat in here. This does create a whole new page. So basically it's cloning that page from that other funnel. So you can make tweaks on this page and not have it reflect on that other funnel that you grabbed this page from.
Okay, now I did not know that. So let's just go here. We're going to say this here is render condition 2. We will call this one, and we're going to submit that. I do see it did put, let's go back in here on the settings here. It did put this at the end. Now, whether that was there before I added it to this funnel or not, I'm not sure. See, I thought that once you had that OTO page, if you then put it into another funnel, that it was the same page no matter what. And if you made a change to one, it would make the change to all of them.
They're not universal pages. Like if we think about like a universal section where you say your footer and you put your footer on all the pages, and then 2026 comes and you just simply change out that little 5 to a 6 in your footer, the copyright part of it, which none of us have copyrighted them. So whole little tangent, but actually changing that, and that goes through all your pages. That's a universal section, meaning they're all linked together. Whatever I change on one, changes on the other. This simply just takes and clones the page you have and puts it now in a different funnel.
Okay, well, let's test that, because I changed the name here, this one to render condition 2. Let's come in here. Let's see if there are now 2 versions of that page. And we got Z-index test there. Well, I guess
you might have to refresh the page.
Well, yeah, you're right. Probably would. And that's one thing that people have to remember is this is an app running. This is not necessarily a web page. So every time you go from one screen to another, it doesn't mean that the page refreshed and no stuff. But I have also found, though, is that it tends to update itself now. In the past, it hadn't. There was something the other day I was looking at, and I was like, yeah, okay, well, that updated itself just fine. So now let's go to my my funnel pages. And okay, so we have our, okay, here we go. You're absolutely right. So here is render condition 2. So the comment I actually put on here about it being the same page actually is not accurate. So we do have then, now we have 2 versions of this page. So part of it with the naming convention then is make sure you name it so you know which funnel it belongs to. So again, if we start looking at our funnels here, you want to, I would guess, okay, is there really anywhere to give this funnel a name? I guess so here. We're just calling it new funnel. So SA live, let's just, okay, so S, oh man, I'll figure out how to type here. Say live funnel, and we're 6 March. Okay, so that is the name of this funnel. Okay, does that show
now
up?
that won't pull up in your pages though. You would have to name the page the same way.
Right. That's where I was kind of going with that. So
yeah.
In a case like that, a naming convention that I like to use, let's go back here to our settings, is so let's anything. Let me just think here. We'll just call this SAL. So now I know that this is the Super Ambassadors live funnel that I'm working on here. And so then any products associated with this funnel, I would also give that prefix of SAL with the square brackets around it. So that way you always know where that is. And
those
then
would be customer facing though. Just a heads up.
Not this up here, would it?
No, the products would be though.
The product name. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that is true. So maybe you don't do it on the products then. But then in here on your settings, then you come in here and you know now if we do this, put in the SAL, we know now that this is the page associated with this funnel.
Now that will pop up as the name of it on the tab.
You mean the meta title?
I think so.
Well, no, you could, because you can change your meta title to whatever you want here. So well, this is our. You what?
Let's see if you go in live preview. Which name does it pull?
Well, let's put in here. Thank you for buying, and we put in a description. We don't need it. We'll go here, submit, and then can I go? Yeah, I can go to preview. Let's go to preview. Taking its sweet old time here. So we're doing.
I was gonna make a joke when we start out that I'm just here to push buttons, including Dan's.
Yeah. So you're just here to prove me wrong. Okay, that didn't want to work for some reason. Let's go in here. We'll go into it and let it show up. And who knows? Never fails that when you're going live, that something's not going to work. That's why editing videos is so nice. Yeah, apparently something is going on here because you could chop out all this stuff where you messed up.
Oh no, it's okay. My grand scheme to make this little event that then I was able to share into the ClickFunnels group, it says another host is already live. I'm the only host.
Oh, in the ClickFunnels? Well,
in my event that I have on my Facebook page that's not showing on my Facebook page. It's randomly weird somewhere. We got gremlins in the live videos.
So here it says up here.
Dan was right.
Yeah, thank you for buying, because we set the metadata for that page. And now if we come in here and we look at this and we inspect this page, we can come in here and that's easier. Actually, if we just go view page source, that's so much easier. We come down here and here is our meta title and our description right below it. And then you get the same thing down here in your open graph and in your Twitter. So open graph is Facebook, Twitter is X. I'm surprised they haven't changed that yet, but X, I don't know, whatever. It's all the same. It uses all the same data. But maybe they'll just call it Grok from now on. Okay, so that was that. Where were we here? So either way, now we figured it out. So the OTO when you put it, you have OTOs in 6 different funnels, but it's going to create 6 different separate pages. So make sure you have some sort of naming convention, whatever you want to use, so you know how to associate the different bits and pieces. Because eventually what could happen is you could have an order form page. Generally speaking, the first page of the funnel you're not going to reuse, but you might. Or what can happen is as you start chaining different funnels together, you can have somebody come through funnel A here, and let's just say they opt in for something, and then they get to the next page on the thank you page, and you have 3 different things. Oh, hey, you might also be interested in, Amazon kind of thing. You might also be interested in, and there's like 3 boxes down at the bottom. And then for each one of those, then they're going to branch off to different sales pages. Yeah. Well, you may want to do one sales page slightly different than another sales page, depending on where they came from. Maybe you're going to change out the headline a little bit and whatever. And so then what we're just showing here is you can still come along, and in that brand new funnel, you don't have to clone the page. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You just drag it in. And so again, we'll show you this here where we want to go with a brand new front page. And we're going to, here's a sales page right here. We're just going to say, okay, we want to use this one here with Russell on it. And again, here we have our, what did we decide here? We had our SAL as our prefix, and we'll even put a 2 here at the end of it. And we're going to create that page, and it should put it at the top of the funnel. And
that SAL will also help you on the customer view, looking at their activity to see what pages they actually went to and in what funnels. Because otherwise, currently, it just says the /path. I mean, it's clickable. You can go there, but.
Yeah, and there's nothing on here yet. So will it show on here? Is this the page you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about just when you come from the main homepage into contacts, customers to contacts.
Oh, okay, in the contacts. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously there's nothing in here because we created this 3 seconds ago. But over here, you can see, though, which is which. So, again, a naming convention certainly would help. And then if somebody's not familiar with how this part of the UI works, is if I want to move this around, I just take this, I bring it down there, and you see immediately we get a box that popped up. And it takes a couple of seconds, I found now with the new UI. You drop it in, and then it has to think a little bit, and then it goes wherever. And then, of course, in here, as we showed the other day, we can do a split test, or we can even do a conditional split. I don't think we ever talked about the conditional splits on here before. And what a conditional split says is, so here we got, let's just assume, let's say this is an order form page up here at the top. And somebody comes in, they either purchased or they did not purchase. Okay, but somehow or another, they went through past that page. So actually, let's say in this case here, it's an OTO. So either they did or did not purchase. Okay, but then they get down to here, and you can say, okay, well, did this person, okay, perfect example. Let's just use a real life example that ClickFunnels has. Okay, you opt in to the 1 Comma Club challenge. Next thing comes to a conditional split step, which says, is there a ClickFunnels account associated with this email address that somebody just put in? If there is not, it sends you to the page to sign up for your ClickFunnels account. If there is, it takes you to a thank you page or some other page. And so think of it in terms of the linchpin. That's exactly how the linchpin works. So Russell's old version of the linchpin was he's doing the Funnel Hacks webinar, and he says, oh, okay, here, everybody gets signed up for the Funnel Hacks webinar. Here's the opt-in page. And, oh, by the way, you're going to want to get yourself a free 14-day trial of ClickFunnels, because while we're in the training, we're going to be opening up our ClickFunnels account, and I'm going to be showing you a whole bunch of really cool stuff in there. So that's what the whole idea here is you get somebody to opt in. Then you check, do they already have a ClickFunnels account or not? And if not, you send them to a page that says, hey, it's really important for you to get this ClickFunnels account because we're going to be using it on Wednesday on our training. Catherine's going to show you exactly how to do this in real life. But if they already have an account, you don't want to send them to that page. So that's where this conditional split step comes in, is essentially don't show them pages that they're going to go there and go, well, I already have a ClickFunnels account. Then they got to hunt around on the page and go, where's the button that says I already have an account? This here, again, this was built into ClickFunnels when it first came out, I'm pretty sure, when 2.0 came out. And talking to some people the other day who are familiar with a lot of other platforms as well, they're all convinced that ClickFunnels is like the only one that has this. Voldemort does not have this.
I believe it goes back to the actual intellectual property that has been patented by Russell and Todd in terms of split tests and split paths.
Okay, I didn't know they had a trademark on, or not a trademark.
They actually have a patent.
What is the right word? It would be a
patent.
Yep. Really?
Yeah, because a patent is you protect the process of it, or like how something is built. So yeah, that's just one of their patents is actually on patents, you dumb it down, right? You make it so you have as broad of a reach on it as you can, is to have a website where an individual person can go down multiple paths. I believe is the terminology they use, which is basically split paths.
Yeah. So in here, so in the case of what they're doing with ClickFunnels, I would guess, okay, product has active, well, okay, maybe it has active subscription. This is one of those things you gotta put it in here and you gotta kind of test it. So here has active subscription. Okay, if they have us in their system as a subscription, which probably does, but here's also owns product.
You can also go off of tag too.
Yeah, if they had set a tag, you also had purchased product variant. So again, not sure which one. You're going to have to put it in. You're going to have to test it, maybe send something to support. There's also the Omni thing in here as well. You can always come here to Omni and you can ask Omni a question as well. And Omni this is not for funnel building. This isn't for market research. This is, says here, help with your marketing strategy, but I don't think that's really what it's for. But it's mostly help with customer support. So you got a question. Let's just go in here. How to set up a conditional
split path.
Split path is okay. Because there's a couple different conditional things, and I had conditional goal in my head because we were talking about that last week.
And at the 38-minute mark, we're in the ClickFunnels group.
Seriously, it turned on in here?
I was able to share it into the group.
Oh, okay. Did you do what I had said to do last, or that we were going to try next week? Do it the down and dirty way?
No. So what I have found is with these streaming platforms, if you share to your profile, most of them are limited just to your friends. So that doesn't work for us then to share it into the ClickFunnels group because not all 300,000 of those people are our friends yet. And we don't have pages that meet the requirements by Facebook yet. And so if you make an event on your personal page, you can make it for everybody and then you can share that. So.
Okay. So you're just sharing
from my personal page.
You're sharing while it's live? Oh, okay. Yep. All right. Well, I wonder if it will give us the whole thing then.
It will.
Whatever. That's not what we're talking about here. So we got our conditional split path here. So I just went here to Omni and I said, tell me everything you can about it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure you could ask follow-up questions and whatnot, and it'll help you get it set up. But again, as we were talking about with the conditions, that's what we're started with here, is there might be 3, 4, 5 different conditions that would work, including what Madison said, is if they make a purchase, upon purchase, you can give them a tag, and that's probably the simplest way to do it. I also know that when 2.0 first came out, a lot of times you had to test 2 different things just in order to slow it down just like the millisecond. I think they got that solved. I think that works just fine right now, and just probably doesn't want to go back in there because I have that open. And let's just reload the page. So that was that. Okay, so let me see here. So the OTO question, I think we got that figured out. So here's the next one, templates, funnel builder. Okay, so let's go in here and let's put in an OTO button on this first page, because here's a question that came up the other day, and I was like, I really don't know the answer to it. So one thing here, we're going to take, okay. So here we got an order form at the top of the page. So if we come into this, and I'm afraid to click on this because then all of a sudden my email address is going to show up on the page probably. But so let's take this out, because here's what the question is. If I put in a button and I use that button as an OTO, what happens if I had not purchased on a prior page in the funnel? What will show up? And what I've been told is that where open pop-up, one click upsell. Okay, I'm looking for the word one, and it's a singular one. Okay, so now we got a one-click upsell for this button here, even though it's not saying underneath what it is. Normally it does. Okay, let's go here to this page, and I may have to go incognito. Okay, so here it's just giving me this button. It says submit OTO. See, what I thought was going to happen here is, let's open this up in incognito.
So you're hoping that it will open up a checkout form?
Right, because I've actually seen it do that. Somebody had it so that if somebody lands on your OTO page and they don't have a prior purchase, this actually opens up the order form instead of having the OTO button. And now that I say that, maybe they had something else set up on the page that I wasn't aware of. So I'm going to have to do some more research on that, because obviously we can put in the checkout element here on the page, but I don't necessarily want to do that, because that defeats the purpose then of having the OTO as a button. But I wonder,
well, that goes back to the question about sending somebody to another funnel. Will it remember them from funnel to funnel? I don't believe so.
From funnel to funnel, probably not, especially if you cross domain. If you cross domains, it definitely will not remember them. But even if you go from funnel to funnel with the same, on the same domain, it all depends on what is stored. Now, we know that in local storage or in the session data, it does store some of that. So if it says that they are, because you got different states for checkouts, you have the guest state where it will show you everything, but then you have a saved state where you can have it give them the ability to put in a 6-digit code that is then text to them or emailed to them or whatever. And so that will make, so that one we'd have to figure that one out too. So like I said, we could keep doing this stuff forever. Here, I'm going clone page. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we got that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take off the OTO button on this one. And I'm probably going to have you take my page down after a little bit here, Madison, so I don't show the entire world everything. Okay, come on, Paige, hurry up. All right, let's go to this one. Let's see if that'll let me into this one. See, the Jeopardy music works better, I think, than the Jaws music that you were doing before. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Suspenseful moments.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. Okay. I'm forgetting all kinds of stuff here. Like, see this little guy up here? It's telling me, oh, that's for optimal performance. We should have a warning.
You have no products set up.
Right, exactly. That was like, okay, I got no products in here, so let's put.
Oh, it's not going to work. You do have to set up payments first.
Oh, I don't even have payments AI set up. It's really, I can't run something test even.
Nope.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Well, let's find out. We'll find out if you can test something without PAI set up, because we should be in or Stripe. We should be in test mode on this thing, right? Let's go save. But we got to pop back out to here. I mean, this is so much easier. Once you get used to these icons up here at the top, this is such a time saver. And that was its intention. It says set up payments, live mode. No, complete the accepting payments. Okay, we'll see.
At one of these points, we're going to have like test accounts that actually are properly set up so we can actually demo stuff. Maybe.
You mean we're going to do that?
Yeah.
Chances of that's pretty slim. I'm sure about that. Show up prepared?
No hope. There's no hope.
Why would we do that? All right, let's go back in here.
I even tried to test to see if we could get this going right yesterday. And Dan said, "Are you testing something?" And I'm like, yeah, yes, but I'm in 2 groups that nobody else is in. He goes, "No, you're live on your profile." And I was like, crap.
Yeah. All right, can you take my page down real quick?
Yep.
Can you even see? You probably couldn't even see me in incognito mode, could you?
No. All I saw was the funnel page was open.
Yeah.
The funnel page, because I think
when
you shared.
I was in incognito mode earlier, you guys weren't seeing that or either. Okay, because I was only sharing the one. Okay, yeah, it's not going to work because I don't have PAI, and all I'm getting is the spinning wheel of death on there. So, okay, that's okay. So we can't really test this, and so again, the reason for looking at this was if somebody ends up on an OTO page and they have not made a purchase prior, do they just see the button, or does the button turn into an order form? And now, because like I said, I've seen it. Tim Hewitt actually is the one who had the question about it. And because it was something that they did in the thing that Trey Llewellyn did last week, where they had that set up. And so we're going to have to get back with the devs. You can share my screen again if you want.
I was thinking I have one that probably is set up that we can
okay.
Try it on. So I'm just going to make sure I get it all. It says that it's set up, so we will. Let me share my screen. Okay, so we'll start a new funnel. I'm not supposed to share this workspace. Oh, it'd help if I put it on the screen, though. I was like, this is my super secret workspace, and I'm probably not supposed to share.
Super
and I wasn't sharing it.
None of us can see. While Madison's getting this set up, I just want to remind everybody that there are shows all week long, either in the ClickFunnels group or eventually that get shared into the ClickFunnels group. And we discussed all that earlier. So on, let me see, on Tuesday, they got
3 p.m.
Teaching Tuesdays, I think. Yeah. Plus you guys, Madison
Funnel Friends
and
live.
Jody, Funnel Friends on Tuesday. On Wednesday, they have the Coaching Corner midday. And then today, Fridays, we have this as well. And there's other things going on all the time. I don't know if they're still doing those meetups or not, or if they're going to start doing them again. What were they calling the ClickFunnels Connect
events? Yep.
Yeah, but anybody who wants to get together a group of ClickFunnels people, funnel hackers in your community, feel free to do it. Tell us ambassadors about it. We'll let other people know, because I mean that's what ClickFunnels is all about. And Russell's been very clear about this from the beginning. It's about family. It's about community. It's about helping each other out and working together. So feel free to do that. And now Madison is going to reveal something really cool, maybe.
Okay, so technically based on Dan's theory, I have not, as I don't even have a previous checkout on this one. So if I go, and actually what I was going to do is I need to add just a page here so we actually go somewhere next. Because if you don't know, if you have no next step on your funnel, that page is just going to loop back again and repeat. You don't go to like a ta-da, it's over, unless you add a ta-da step.
You need a ta-da. So put a ta-da at the end, just like you always have to put a pause at the bottom of your workflows.
All right.
I mean, it's funny. I've had that conversation with multiple people recently, and they're like, well, what do I need that there for? And I explained to them that everybody falls out the bottom. It's like, oh, I still don't understand. Why do I need that for?
Yeah. All right. Like, so just to prove, I have no step above this one. This is just the blue button. That is all that is on this page right here.
Oh, so The only difference of what you did and what I did is I didn't click the button. I thought it instantly just when they got there, I thought the button morphed into the checkout element. Well, after you click on it.
I technically have Stripe connected. Yours still wouldn't have worked without a payment gateway.
Okay, because I still don't have the payment. Okay, so I got to at least connect Stripe to my test account. Okay.
And here's the question, though. I have Stripe connected natively in ClickFunnels. I'm not using PAI to do that.
Right.
With this is a Stripe checkout, right? Because it has pay with link. This is not a well, can we inspect this and see? Will this tell us if it is a well, I mean, it says it's a checkout body container, so
well, yeah, it's
it is a ClickFunnels order form, then yes.
Well, yeah, it's an element on the ClickFunnels page, but it's technically it would be an iframe inside of it when it's Stripe. When it's PAI, it's built into ClickFunnels, but even then, the mechanics of it is still somewhere else. That's the
I was just wondering, does this work because it's Stripe and not PAI, or will it do the same with Payments AI?
Now, my question is, did you click the button there or not?
I did. You
did click the button. Okay. So you had to click the button to activate it, but because she did not. Okay. So now can you do this, set up a page ahead of this and do a purchase? So, I mean, because in sandbox mode, we should be able to do that in test mode.
Yeah.
Set up a page before this, do a purchase, come here, then click the button and see if what the OTO does. Because that's what we're testing here in case people got in here late and we've been blathering on about a bunch of stuff is if somebody goes from, we know the functionality if somebody goes from a purchase to the next page and there's the button that is set as a one-click upsell. We know the functionality there. They click on the button, they purchase it without having to do anything else. The question is, if somebody lands on an OTO page and they do not have a prior purchase, what happens then? And so what we've seen so far is you click on the button, opens up the Stripe. In our case here, we just have Stripe set up, not PAI.
Well, I technically do have Payments AI set up as well, I believe. But
yeah, I was going to say, I'd forget. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So that should work if we go back to here.
And as long as we're in test mode, obviously there aren't going to be any purchases.
So it should work in Payments AI and Stripe. Because remember, this now doesn't have the link button, which is a telltale sign that it is Stripe. Yeah.
Yeah. Or yeah. But now, okay, so now go from a purchase to the OTO, and let's see if that then just works properly as an OTO, and it should. And if so, again, this is, I mean, frankly, it's really cool. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. To have this thing be so smart that it can go, okay, so we were showing before about the conditional split tests. So you could send somebody to a page based upon all kinds of different conditions, like if they'd owned something. So if somebody lands on an order form page and they don't take the bump, then you put in a conditional split test that says, or split path along the way below it that says, okay, they didn't take the bump, show them this page again now. And somebody was talking about that the other day, a funnel that they were in where, second, third page in through the funnel, all of a sudden there was a full-blown sales page for the order bump. So, it says, hey, I noticed you didn't take this here. You clearly it's because you didn't know enough about it. And so let me tell you more about this thing. Or you wouldn't even have to say, hey, I noticed you didn't take it. You could just say, hey, we got this other really cool thing. But you wouldn't know to put that in front of them if it wasn't for that conditional split path that you created based upon whether or not they took the bump in the first place.
Yeah. So, this is just checkout and it's going to go to the OTO page, correct? That's what you wanted? Nothing in the middle?
And here's the other thing you could do is let's say somebody does take the bump, Well, then you say, oh, well, they took that bump. I know they're also interested in this. And so you send them to that page. Or you could say, it's the whole thing is, what is the follow-on problem that we created for them because they took this bump? Well, because they took this bump, they're also going to have this issue once they do what was in the bump. And so then it gives you an opportunity to sell them something else as well. But here, drum roll, please. Let's see what happens when she clicks it. Says processing.
Processing. Hopefully my card's not declined.
Oh my God. Oh, that's another thing for people. Oh, that's the way it's supposed to work. That was beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. We all learned something here today, I think. So yeah, what Tim was showing was real. I forget what. Here was the other question. Because where his problem was coming in is and you pull your screen back up and go to take the order form page, move it down in the funnel so that the OTO is the first page we're going to land on, and then go to that page. What was happening is the order form was popping up, but you couldn't see the button at the bottom of the page because it was a white button with white text. You're going to have to go.
So here,
incognito.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's gonna pop up. That was gonna be my.
Yeah, the session data was already set as saved probably at that point, and that's why you. You thought you already had a purchase. That's another thing when you're testing, is go incognito, and every time you do a new test, open up a new incognito window, meaning close the incognito window and open up a new one, because it's going, and whenever possible, use an email address other than the one that you use to log into ClickFunnels with.
Yeah.
Because it's going to know your data. So if you go to a regular page, not incognito, straight out of your ClickFunnels account that you're logged into, it's going to use your data for you personally. And so it's going to work every single time. And then you go incognito, or you have your customers test it, all of a sudden it's not working. Well, right, it was only working because you were logged in.
Yeah.
And it saw you in there. It didn't see somebody else who's never been to the page before. So always incognito, always use a different email address.
Incognito. And there's the form.
And the button's just fine. Yeah, so I don't know if with Tim, if it was a function of the style guide he had set or what it was. So that becomes then the next question is, how does the style guide affect the order form? And that's for next week, because it's 11 a.m. in Phoenix, Arizona. Means we got to get off the call.
And so then next week, because we do spring ahead on Sunday, I believe. Same time, Dan, 9 Pacific. It'll also be 9 for you. So will you be able to be out of bed and have your Cheerios and stuff?
Oh man. Cheerios. I usually just take my grains in the liquid form in the morning. Come on.
That's kind of what I thought, but I didn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as you're picking up your bottle of brandy there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fine. We'll pretend there's Coke in
brandy.
We'll pretend there's Coke in there. All right. So we'll quit goofing around here. So like I said, there's shows every week, every day of the week, and eventually they'll all show up into the ClickFunnels group. So just keep looking in there, and there's all kinds of great training. Like I said, the stuff the guys are doing on the coaching corner, the stuff they're doing on the teaching stuff on Tuesdays, Madison and Tony on Tuesdays as well. Just go check it out, because every day there's somebody in there teaching you all kinds of stuff about funnels. And that's what this is about, is just doing some edumacating here and making us all much smarter. So that's all I got.
All right. With that being said, we will end the stream. We'll see you guys all same time, same place next Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific and 9 for Dan as well.
Yes. See you all then.